about Team USA and the roster because a social media post went out there and it's actually caused some controversy, while I'm like, really? This is controversial? This is the take? And then I saw some of the choices that some fans are making out there where you can tell there's blatant agenda.
When Team USA dropped that social media post, it wasn't just a small splash, it was a full-on explosion. The moment it hit, the online sports world erupted into chaos, turning comment sections into a battlefield of arguments and insults. And all it did was propose a hypothetical starting five. But by putting Caitlin Clark's name front and center, this wasn't just sparking a casual debate, it was lighting a powder keg. Fans of Paige Bueckers were left in absolute shock, their outrage spilling across every platform at the sheer nerve of this lineup. This wasn't some friendly fan chatter anymore. It became a fierce declaration of loyalty, a showdown no one expected. Overnight, digital battle lines were drawn, and suddenly everyone had to pick a side in the madness. The intensity, the passion, it was raw, it was unprecedented, and it completely caught the sports world off guard.
Today, I did a couple of videos about it. We know Caitlin Clark finally going to emerge in a competitive setting in a training camp that they're going to have right here. Let me just give you the specifics. Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark hinted that she would participate in Team USA basketball activities during the WNBA offseason, following the conclusion of her team's 2025 campaign. Initially, the thought was she was referring to USA basketball training camp in early March 2026, which is a precursor to the 2026 FIBA World Cup qualifying tournament.
Alright, let's break down what actually set off this storm. The graphic at the center of the chaos showed a hypothetical starting five, with Caitlin Clark running the point alongside some serious talent: Janelle Lloyd, Jackie Young, Nneka Ogwumike, and Aaliyah Boston. Now, just to be clear, this wasn't an official roster. Far from it. It was presented as purely speculative. But the moment it dropped, the reaction was instantaneous and seismic. The idea of Clark taking such a prominent role was enough to shake the entire WNBA community. Why? Because it directly challenged fan expectations and the established order. For supporters who believed that veteran players deserved those key positions, seeing Clark in that spotlight felt like a provocation. What might have seemed like a harmless projection suddenly became a magnet for long-standing rivalries, hot takes, and debates that had been quietly simmering for years.
On this team, I don't know how this is even a debate. This post got put up as a potential, starting five. All right, Caitlin Clark at point guard, Kaylee Copper, Jackie Young, Derica Hamby, and Aaliyah Boston, and then of course these are the reserves on the team, right? And my God, the Paige Bueckers supporters, of course. And I don't want to throw Angel supporters in this because I've seen a lot of actually put Angel in.
The moment that post went live, the backlash hit instantly, and I mean immediately. The fiercest reactions came straight from the die-hard Paige Bueckers fans. Their loyalty to her runs deep, and seeing her left out of a hypothetical starting five, especially in favor of her rival Caitlin Clark, triggered pure outrage. The message was loud and clear across every comment: Paige over Caitlin. Thousands of fans poured in, demanding Bueckers' inclusion, questioning the credibility of the proposed lineup, and flat out rejecting the idea that Clark belonged in that role. The sheer intensity and volume of the response was staggering. It revealed a territorial, almost tribal side of the WNBA fan base that had been quietly simmering, and this post just turned the heat up, making that tension explode for everyone to see.
And I don't want to throw Angel supporters in this because I've seen a lot of actually put Angel and Caitlin on the court at the same time, but somehow this got labeled as rage bait, and I'm not sure how. This is controversial, but here we go with some of the dumbass takes that came out of this, right? It's got over 200,000 views on it now. Paige, okay. Young, Copper, Cameron Brent, really? After being injured like that? Reese.
While the Paige Bueckers fans led the charge in the initial wave of outrage, it didn't take long for the conversation to spiral outward, pulling in other major fan groups. Angel Reese supporters, for instance, brought a surprisingly measured voice compared to the all-out rejection from the Bueckers camp. What was really intriguing was how many of them actually entertained the idea of seeing Reese and Clark share the court, a rare moment of potential unity amid all the chaos. But that single post had cast such a wide net that it inevitably attracted countless other factions, each fiercely defending their vision of what Team USA's lineup should be. The result was a sprawling and intense debate that highlighted just how emotionally invested fans are in their favorite players. What might have been a simple speculative graphic instead became a tangled web of loyalties, opinions, and clashes, all playing out in the fiery arena of the comment section.
Over Chelsea Gray in competitive basketball? Question mark. Some dude says, suggesting the veteran guard Chelsea Gray deserves a starting role over Caitlin Clark. Look, I've only been locked in for a couple of years. There's not a world where I'm starting Gray over Caitlin Clark. Not a galaxy far, far away. Nowhere. Caitlin Clark over Chelsea Gray in competitive basketball? Question mark. 127 times out of 10. Yeah, easy.
It didn't take long for people to start calling the post straight up rage bait, and honestly, the label fits, maybe more than anyone could have anticipated. Just consider this: within a very short time, it racked up over 200,000 views, sparking a massive, immediate emotional reaction from the WNBA community. Whether it was meant to provoke or not almost doesn't matter. The effect was undeniable. The post tapped right into simmering tensions, reignited long-standing rivalries, and transformed what could have been a simple speculative graphic into a full-blown public spectacle. Rage bait perfectly captures the intensity of the backlash, especially from fans who felt their favorite players had been overlooked or slighted. The anger, frustration, and heated debates weren't just reactions. They were a reflection of deep-rooted loyalties finally boiling over in plain view.
Injured and this and that and the other. You know, and I'm not talking about as far as the poster goes. I mean, just literally having been put on the team right now, you know. Just a question, if Juju is still recovering from an ACL, how can she be part of this? Surely she can't play. Yes, she can attend, but if she takes to the floor, she surely risks serious injury. Well, they all risk injury in playing in this. It is what it is. Now, a lot of people are bringing up people that aren't even in this. I mean, Asia and...
Just when it seemed like the drama couldn't get any bigger, the conversation took a sharp turn into another fiery controversy, this time centered on veteran guard Chelsea Gray. The idea of Caitlin Clark starting over a proven, respected player like Gray hit a nerve with fans who deeply value experience and established talent. For many, the suggestion was downright outrageous. One fan didn't hold back, saying, "There's no universe where I'd start Clark over Gray, not even in a galaxy far, far away." This clash highlighted a clear generational divide within the fan base, igniting heated debates over merit, experience, and the tension between fresh, rising stars versus seasoned reliability. It left longtime fans feeling overlooked and disrespected as the spotlight shifted to the new wave of talent.
There's only one point guard, and she plays in Indiana. Stop it. And then you have the other thing, the do you want to grow women's basketball, the popularity of it or not? And Team USA, and do you want the ratings and all that other stuff? You know, and Caitlin Clark's obviously going to bring all of that, right? And you can't use this as an excuse. I mean, there was word out there that the committee, when they left her off the 2024 team, were scared to put her on the team because if she didn't play enough, they didn't want to have to hear about it.
This fiery debate over Chelsea Gray wasn't just a clash between two elite players. It revealed a much deeper tension simmering within women's basketball fandom. It became a clear battleground between the WNBA's old guard fans, fiercely loyal to veteran stars and traditional styles, and the new wave, hungry for fresh faces and high-energy, youth-driven play. The speaker in the video didn't hold back. bluntly declaring that the old school fans are being voted off the island. That statement drove home the reality of a rapid generational shift taking place in the sport, a shift where explosive new talent is challenging long-standing assumptions, provoking fierce pushback from those holding on tightly to the past.
Wnba old guard that's trying to desperately hold on. No, I mean y'all. I don't know if you old WNBA fans understand this. Y'all are getting voted off the island. That's happening right now. We're yeah. The actual real sports fans have shown up. Peace, you're out. So am I.
The timing of this controversial post couldn't have been more dramatic, especially with Caitlin Clark's recent injury setbacks adding another layer of tension. She hadn't played competitively since suffering a groin injury in mid-July, which effectively ended her 2024 WNBA season, and that was soon followed by an unexpected ankle issue. Her scheduled participation in Team USA's training camp from December 12th to 14th in Durham, North Carolina, now marked a highly anticipated return to the court, making the debate over her hypothetical starting role even more charged. Some questioned whether she was truly ready, while her supporters celebrated her comeback as a triumphant re-entry to the highest level of competition. The post's central question, should Clark start, quickly became a lightning rod. For many fans, it wasn't even a question. Her spot as a starter was a given, thanks to the game-changing talent and dynamic impact she brings, injuries notwithstanding. Yet, by framing it as a debate, the post expertly ignited controversy, forcing fans to passionately defend what they viewed as an undeniable truth and sparking discussions where none should have been necessary. Clark's supporters see her as the ultimate on-ball facilitator, a dynamic offensive force akin to a star NFL quarterback. Her ability to create plays, reflected in her league-leading assists per game, is viewed as her most critical asset. Bench her or limit her role, and in their eyes, it's a massive disservice to both her talent and the team's potential. Critics, however, point to her league-leading turnover rate as a flaw, but her staunchest defenders quickly countered with her record-setting assist numbers, illustrating the double-edged nature of her high-usage style. Yes, she risks turnovers, but she simultaneously generates unmatched opportunities for her teammates. This debate over risk versus reward became a heated microcosm within the broader argument, showing that even perceived weaknesses can be reframed as part of her groundbreaking playmaking. Adding fuel to the fire, the post included Guju Watkins in the hypothetical starting five, sparking immediate skepticism. Watkins is still recovering from a severe ACL injury, and fans questioned how someone in rehab could realistically contribute on a competitive roster, let alone start. While attending training camp might be feasible, taking the court posed a real risk of re-injury. This optimistic, or perhaps careless, inclusion intensified the debate, raising questions about judgment, player welfare, and the lengths to which online speculation can stir controversy. The controversy wasn't just about who made the hypothetical lineup, it was equally about who got left out. Fans were baffled and frustrated to see established WNBA stars like Aja Wilson, Brianna Stewart, and especially Kelsey Mitchell completely absent from the discussion. Mitchell's exclusion in particular raised legitimate questions given her consistently elite performance. These glaring omissions only fueled accusations of rage bait and selective criteria, suggesting the post intentionally spotlighted more controversial, headline-grabbing names while ignoring deserving veterans. A sizable portion of the fan base felt completely overlooked. The debate even spilled over to Cameron Brink's hypothetical role. While some acknowledged her place on the broader Team USA roster, making her a starter was met with skepticism and outright opposition. Fans questioned her readiness and impact compared to other frontcourt options, not because of a lack of talent, but due to careful consideration of experience and development in high-level international competition. Her inclusion sparked a micro-controversy that underscored just how closely every name on the roster was being scrutinized. Even Angel Reese's presence stirred debate. While the speaker acknowledged her growth over the past year, not all fans shared the same confidence in her readiness for international play. This showed that no matter how talented a player is, fan perception and existing narratives heavily influence reactions to team selections. No choice, however justified, escapes the critical eye of the passionate and often divided WNBA audience. At the heart of much of this debate was the grow the game argument. Many argue that featuring Caitlin Clark prominently, especially as a starter, is essential to boosting ratings, attracting new viewers, and growing the overall popularity of women's basketball. Clark is a clear draw, a ratings magnet that Team USA can't afford to ignore. From this perspective, selection decisions shouldn't just be about raw talent, they're strategic, aimed at expanding the sport's reach and maximizing audience engagement. But the most shocking revelation hinted at a leadership failure. Word emerged that the 2024 Olympic Committee hesitated to fully embrace Clark, worried about fan backlash if she didn't receive enough minutes. Critics argued this fear-based approach was a dereliction of duty, prioritizing public opinion over fielding the best team. It exposed insecurity at the highest levels and cast doubt on the integrity of past roster choices. The speaker was clear: it is absolutely the committee's job to select the best players, regardless of potential criticism. Fan feedback is inevitable, but true leadership means making tough choices and standing by them, not preemptively bowing to hypothetical outrage. For the speaker, there is no debate. Caitlin Clark belongs at point guard for Team USA. Her spot is unquestionable. Resistance, particularly from those championing Chelsea Gray, is framed as the old guard clinging to relevance in the face of a passionate new wave of fans demanding fresh, dynamic talent. This stance highlights a generational shift, where long-standing allegiances are being challenged by the undeniable force of new stardom. Ultimately, that Team USA social media post, whether intentional rage bait or not, exposed a seismic shift in women's basketball fandom. It revealed a new era. The old guard is being voted off the island, and the sport's most electrifying talents like Caitlin Clark are taking center stage. This wasn't just a debate about a hypothetical lineup, it was a vivid demonstration that the game is evolving, demanding fresh perspectives and embracing its most dynamic stars. The controversy itself is proof. The future of women's basketball is here, louder, more passionate, and more engaged than ever.